Hi, I'm Nick DeCosimo. I'm the Global Editorial Director of Mixmag. Mixmag was the original dance music and DJ culture magazine. It was launched in 1983. The first cover stars was Shalimar. It was originally designed as a way for mobile DJs and kind of disco DJs to communicate and spread ideas and, you know, kind of talk about their trade. It was a very different time. Like I say, a lot of it was for guys who worked at mobile DJs and, you know, did weddings, bar mitzvahs and funerals and that sort of stuff. But it also catered to a lot of the kind of early club DJs, so people coming from the legacy of the disco scene. So over the years, the magazine developed. When it really took off was with the acid house explosion in the UK and Europe, and it became kind of the de facto voice of that kind of house music scene. It became basically the voice of Clubland, or the Clubber's Bible as it was referred to. And it was something that was such an integral part of the fabric. You know, if you hadn't arrived as a DJ unless you'd been on the cover of Mixmag, you know. It was the sort of thing where it was the internet before the internet for dance music fans. You would buy a copy of Mixmag every month and you would trawl through the pages to see if you'd made it into one of the photographs in the club pages. So it was something that was kind of really an integral part of the scene. I think which is one of the reasons why we still have such good feelings among kind of DJs and people in the scene, because a lot of the, particularly the older stars, kind of grew up with Mixmag during that era, and you remember kind of how pivotal it was. In a contemporary sense now, I guess we're a full kind of 360-degree media brand. I started as editor of the magazine actually, 10 years ago. And pretty much we were a publication with kind of a small web presence. We've been smart, stroke lucky enough to be able to evolve, and now we're kind of thriving 360-degree media business. So we do events, we have a really thriving kind of digital arm, we do a lot of video content, we do a lot of kind of branded partnerships, commercial partnerships with sort of interesting brands. So we almost have like an ad agency function to some of the stuff that we do as well. This has kind of been the key to any old magazine brand that's managed to stick around, is kind of adaptability. So now in 2017, we're in a pretty amazing place. We've got 15 offices around the world. Like I said, we have various video franchises. We've got a very, very lively social media presence, incredibly successful website. We do events all over the world as well. So it's, we're very proud of how we've managed to sort of navigate that and come out on the other side on top. And now we're in this really amazing position where there are all of these opportunities that present themselves in so many different areas. So that's kind of the exciting, you know, that's the exciting thing, and that's sort of the challenge that we have going ahead. With regard to the print magazine, in a contemporary sense, it's still a really, really important part of what we do. It's kind of like the basic DNA of the brand, because it was the first thing. But from a revenue point of view, magazine sales have fallen globally. I mean, that's, make no mistake. And really, the way that we communicate with our mass audience is always going to, but now in a contemporary sense, is digitally, you know, so through our website, social media, video, whatever else. The beauty of the magazine, though, is it's read by the real influencers in the industry and the scene, you know, and it's also cherished, actually, I think, by artists, management, these kind of people, because there are just fewer and fewer magazines around. Anybody can be featured on the homepage of a website, but there are only ever going to be 12 cover stars in Mixmag every year. So that is quite precious. We also try and leverage it to do other cool stuff. For example, every cover star that we have plays a launch. We do a launch party event called Mixmag Live. Everybody that comes gets a copy of the magazine. We live stream the event. It's sort of, you know, it's about looking at ways to leverage the print product to do stuff that's exciting, kind of, and slightly tangential to that sort of core thing. So as far as kind of newer media brands finding different revenue streams, I think build an audience, know your market very well, try and do stuff that's kind of new and unique, that's going to get you noticed. I mean, with a lot of brands, you know, Mixmag does myriad things. You know, we do so many different things, and we've been around for a long time, and we've had a chance to kind of build up our brand equity and, you know, be known for different things. I think with like sort of newer brands, usually it's like one thing. You do one thing like really, really well, and that's the thing that kind of gets you noticed or gets you your audience and kind of catapults you. Brand partnerships are kind of, at the moment, that's sort of where the revenue streams are coming. So traditionally, it was pretty simple. You know, you had a magazine, you filled it from amazing content, and then within that, advertisers would buy a page of advertising, and you sold the magazine. So you took revenue from selling the magazine, and you took revenue from selling a page of advertising. Then I remember, you know, when I started out back in the dark ages, there would be, you know, you would do stuff which we call them advertorials, which is kind of like commercial creative content. So it would be half editorial, half ad, right? And that's sort of like that's like a little glimpse of how things were going to pan out in the future. What happened is you have this situation where you've gone from a very simple kind of media brand advertiser relationship to what you have now, which is kind of infinite possibilities of how a commercial brand can work with a media brand. It might be video, it might be a conference, it might be an event, it might be shining Donna Summer on the side of the Empire State Building to celebrate the 40th anniversary of I Feel Love, which I tried to do, but couldn't get the money for it. Future plans for Mixmag. Our parent company is a company called Wasted Talent. We recently acquired a kind of alt sort of heavy rock magazine called Kerrang. We're looking at expanding that in the US and globally. We've also purchased a magazine called The Face, which was basically the original kind of youth lifestyle magazine. It's been dormant for about 15 years, but we're looking at bringing that back in a contemporary way. So that's kind of super exciting. So yeah, the future, it's taken us, we're 35, Mixmag is 35 years old next year. And we're stronger than we ever were. So yeah, a lot of hard work, but it's paying off and the future's looking bright.